Alrighty, check this out. It's pretty close, pretty tight, but everything's fitting. That right there is Sema quality paint job. I mean, I got that much pad. No, they're pulls.
What are you doing?
It feels like... Alright, it's morning again. Man, the days go by fast. We're back on the Willys, or the PackRat, or whatever other names you want to call this thing. I'm working on it today. Goal today is to make it look like a truck. I'm gonna have radiator completely mounted, tranny cooler lines, AC lines, all of those things up here, so I can start plugging wires in on this and hear it run. It is that time. I'm ready to get it done, drive it. Tired of working on it, I want to drive it. So let's make it drive. All right, I've been running around all morning. I haven't bored you with it. I've been trying to track down all the parts and pieces. I went to the store 3 times to get all stuff. I think we're finally ready to start tigging things together. I'll throw some time lapse up, show you the parts going together, and then some finished product. All right, we are gaining here. About have the shroud all mounted. I've been putting nut certs in it. We are about there. And then I gotta fill all the space in. Like I told you before, I'm not gonna bore you guys with all that tedious little TIG welding, but I'm gonna show you when it's all done. And then it should fit. Gonna do a little grinding, and then we should be putting nut certs in. Bolt this down and weld all of it back together now. All right, shroud is at least mounted. Now if all the holes were filled up, we'd be in good shape.
So while my dad is welding up the radiator, I am going to be cleaning all this metal off so we could paint it, clean it up, tape it, and then it'll be cherry. So on to that.
Alrighty, let me show you what I'm up to. Pretty much all pieced together now. I just gotta tap it in and weld that sucker up, and then we can mount the radiator, I think for one of the last times.
A few moments later.
Done. All welded together. I'll let it cool off. I'll go ahead and bolt it in this.
1 hour later.
Alright, just went and ate some lunch. We're back from that. I think the radiator's all cooled off now. I'm gonna get it bolted in here, make sure it still fits. We'll start hooking the rest of this stuff up. All right, fan turns, doesn't hit. By golly, we'll see what happens when you flex it up, but radiator is in. Mounted, it clears everywhere. Should be good to go. Now, let me show you this. AC condenser right there. Should be pretty painless. We're gonna mount that sucker somewhere like that on that radiator. No big deal. I bought some little chunks of aluminum right here. I'm just gonna take and bend some little steps, basically just some little zigzags. We'll take those to the radiator, bolt them to that, and then one more piece has got to go in front. The trans cooler will mount in front of that, and then by gosh, we should have the cooler, and the power steering cooler. I gotta mount that over in front of there. Then I think I gotta build a power steering reservoir to mount up there. And then I think, pretty close, we're ready to start hooking wiring up and plumb this thing and see if we can get her to make noise. I'm ready for it to make noise. All right, got me a couple of little chunks of aluminum. I'm gonna mark a 1-inch mark on them, put them in the vise, bend them over, drill a hole in it, and then we should be able to put them in, TIG those. Well, I'll get all 4 made and then we'll TIG it together. All right, just like that, we got some mounts built. We gotta drill holes. All right, we're getting somewhere now. New plan, I'm gonna put nut certs in these because you can't get back behind it to be able to put a nut on it to hold it. So we are going to think smarter, not harder here. Dang it. Like a glove. That's gonna be perfect. Put it up high so it's like that. Gonna build 2 more of those. Getting closer. All right, check those out. Little angles. I gotta build 2 more, the little longer ones on this side to reach back. But we'll have that mounted in no time. All right, my setup's not very good, but it's working. Got this lightly clamped on here. I got one side tacked. I tack this other side, and then I can make it permanent like. Well, set that there so you can watch. One-handed TIG welding, not my favorite, but it's in there. Pretty substantial, ain't going nowhere. All right, I've looked at this and I believe I can just put this trans cooler, oh, just threw that down. I think I can just mount it right here like that with the hardware it comes with, just those little plastic tabs. We'll put them on and then I can plumb trans cooler lines, and I'm gonna build some AC lines, and then we'll start painting. We gotta have this all painted before we can put the front clip back on it. All right, check that off the list. Let's go ahead and build some radiator hoses, and then we can put water in this thing. So I thought I built them once. I have to think back. I think I built radiator hoses. I don't know where they went.
5 minutes later.
All right, we say we because Jason's home from school. I got him doing random projects while I'm building AC lines. Drug all of the parts and pieces out. I got to do some TIG welding. We're gonna take this, cut the end off, TIG it into the factory GM fitting down here, and I'll have the big one done, and then we'll just loop the little one out to the condenser back to, I can't remember what this thing's called, but I know it's important and I know I need it, so I'm putting it in. Should just be a lot of crimping, cutting, welding, splicing, and we'll make this happen. All right, we're taking the original GM fitting here, welding it into this fitting here, and then we'll go crimp it together in the press. Should be good to go. I don't know if you know that or not, but I got pretty hot, pretty fast. Can't get the hang of this with this thing on. I keep touching the dang tungsten. It's terrible. Alright, leave one line fixed. It's hot. We'll let her cool off. Alright, we're making tracks. I've got this unnamed part mounted. It's gonna set right there. We'll tighten it up. This hose is going into it, out of it, and over to there. So, some fittings. All right, so I got all carried away, welded this together, and it worked out really good. Problem is, this is the low pressure side, and I need a way to charge this thing. I need that in it. So I got to cut this back off, go ahead and weld that one to it. Try this again, see if we can get it right this time. We got the high pressure side here. I got to weld a fitting on to the other side of that one. And then we start crimping it, and all the AC hoses are built. We can carry on. All right, we're on our last hose. Got them marked where they go. Ooh, someone turned my lights off in here. Michelle, that's who it was. I gotta organize here. I'm having to get my steps in as I walk across the 65. Let me give you a little quick update on the 65. So, been working with Speedway trying to get the right parts finally. They said, oh yeah, we shipped them to you. Here they are. All of the right parts except for 4 of them. I need the upper shock mounts and the trailing arm mounts. They didn't send those, so we're 2 months in dealing with Speedway. So they're off my list for a while. I'm gonna order parts from somebody else. Anyhow, squirreled a little bit. Back to what I was doing. Yeah, the hose shop. They made this possible for me to crimp hoses and do all my things myself. So we'll crimp these real quick, get after it. All right, make sure we're lined up. I like that. Nice crimp. Roll that over. Throw that back in. Good enough. L hosers are crimped. AC lines are done. Now Chad and I can ride in comfort on our little adventure. I lied to you. I have one more fitting to crimp. I just noticed this bottom one's not crimped. So I'll have to pull it off real quick and crimp it. But all these made hoses, we'll have to throw the vacuum pump on this, pump it down, make sure everything holds good. Then we'll know the AC's good. Alrighty, check this out. It's pretty close, pretty tight, but everything's fitting. So this is all tucked in nice and tight around the headlight. It is getting there. I'm gonna end up building an air dam across here that will keep the air going through the radiator in the front. All the hoses, everything's routed, plugged in. I think next major thing we're gonna be doing, computer wiring, make it run and drive. So I got a few more lines to hook up. I got to plumb tranny cooler lines up. I'm gonna bore you guys with that, but I'm gonna get those plumbed and then throw some wiring on this thing tomorrow, and we'll be getting dang close to cranking it.
All right, it is the morning and I'm back on the Willys. I have to paint this paint, the frame, that thing, that thing. I'm turning into a painter, so don't judge me. First coat is on. So now I gotta polish the other side, make it smooth so we can paint it. Not smooth, to get all the rust stuff off of it. And then do the same thing as I did to this side, and then it should be closer. All right, I got the most of what I think I can do right now painted. I got the bumper, frames, shock mounts, pretty much good. So see if my dad likes it. So I just got here. I've been down to Orderville working on another project that I'm gonna take you guys and show you pretty soon. We bought some property and I'm building roads on it. It's like not flat at all.
there's rocks and hills, and got some cool stuff planned for that. We'll take you and show you one of these days, but I've been down digging. I got dust all over me. But this kid, Jace, he's been doing it. Look at that. Black. It's looking good. That right there is Sema quality paint job. So, Robbie Layton broke my arm. Huh? And he tried to sabotage my Onx build. It's not working, Robbie. We're still coming for you. We've had some mail the last couple of days. We've saved it up. We're gonna open it today and show you guys what we got. Steve, he stopped by, sent me a picture of him. I remember him. Steve gave me a camera. So this is a scope. So it has a cord that hooks on the end of it and a big screen here. This thing is cool. Thank you, Steve. We will use the heck out of that. Bend, Oregon. Oh, toothpicks. Haha. You keep your hands off these, Jace. Thank you, Ed. Bentley Chevrolet car repair manual. This is for the car that we're currently fixing. Look at that. We'll put that in the old car. Thank you very much. This one comes from Bob. There's some stuff in here. I see your name in this box.
Really?
I do. All right, I'll give you yours first. Let me see that camera. Let's see what you got.
Let's see what it is. It's a box.
A box? Boxes are good. It's a cool box. What the heck?
Yo, that is Fab Rats, Jace Cox. That is sweet.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Landon's got one. Sean's got one. We'll go down and deliver that to Sean. Oh yeah, that's a cool knife. It's awesome. Thank you. This one comes from D&A. Oh, these are cookies. We hope your arm is feeling better. We sent you some yummy cookies from Montana. The earrings are for your mom. There's your keychain. All right, Mr. Fred. Check those out. Little bold action pen. That's pretty cool. I like it. Thank you. This one is from Stacy Gray. It's like one of those rat things that people have sent us. They want us to put it on the front of the rat back, but I can't put a hood ornament on the front of that. Pretty cool. Thank you, Stacy. Maybe when Landon comes home,
Put on his truck.
we'll stick it to Landon's hood. What do you think?
Let's do it.
I think that's a good idea. So you'll see us do that when Landon's not looking. Okay, on to the final one. Wade and Elizabeth send us some stuff. We've got some little skull valve stem caps. We may have to put them on the 55 or on the Willys. Skull keychains. A t-shirt that says Broken Bones Racing. Thank you guys. And a cup. We'll put that in the office and I'll drink out of it. Thank you guys. That's pretty much all the mail for the week, so thank you guys very much. We got the greatest fans ever. All right, my fuel parts showed up. Really what I was after the most was those little fittings right there and these ones for the fuel to go to the fuel pump on the other side. So probably gonna put braided fuel line down this whole thing. That plastic is probably fine, but man, I think it's gonna wear. I think braided's gonna be a little more protected. So I'm gonna get this in the air, get all this hooked in, get some fuel lines up here and see if we can't get this thing working. All right, we're gonna get some tranny cooler lines built. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I gotta come off of tranny up under here and right up to the trans cooler right there. So we'll come off, over, and down this side somewhere. So pretty easy. We're just using some braided fuel line with AN fittings on it. So no big deal. I just got to put them together and put them in the car. Shouldn't take me very long at all. Okay. There's one. We'll fish it to the back and then we'll build the other one. All right, tranny cooler is installed. I got a zip tie a bunch of lines up and get this all tied, but I gotta put it up into here like that. And then basically, man, I'm killing it. Just kidding. I'm slow as coal tar, but I'm getting this done. We're knocking it off a little at a time. We'll get her handled. I gotta mount this shock too. I ran into this thing like 5 times today and it's kind of pissing me off. Probably just gonna go ahead and build a mount and put it on the frame. All right, we're getting serious now. Tank's out. We're hooking all the stuff up. We'll get it plumbed back in. We'll put all the strap up on here. I got some more welding to do. This tank should go in for the last time here in a minute, and I'll start running fuel lines. We'll put a little fuel in this thing and pressurize it. Make sure we got no leaks. We're closer to being able to start it. I gotta build fuel neck. So I gotta add, I think, like 7 inches to this. I'm gonna measure it up, see what it is, and I'm gonna build it out of some inch. My hose fits over the 1.5 inches perfectly. So that's what we're gonna use. I'll expand it out to fit into here, weld a piece on it. Voila, bing bang, done. We'll put gas in her tonight. All right, got me a piece of pipe cut, 6.5 inches of it. I'm gonna take it over to the pipe expander, and we are gonna expand that right into there. I'll weld it in, something of that nature. I think I gotta take these spot welds off, turn them. I got some stuff I gotta do, but first things first, that needs to fit in there, so let's go do it. All right, we got the expander all set up. We are trying to get, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. We're gonna go ahead and take that and call that a win. We'll go put that thing and weld it together. Oh yeah, mint. All right, a lot's happened since I was on the camera last. Jace got home from school. We got the tank. We pulled the tank out. We put strap under it. He's mounting it back in. We've got fuel filler hose poked up through there. I'm gonna get the neck built and plugged down in, or get it so I can mount it. Fuel lines are hanging off the pump. So we'll get these fished up through the frame. Get a filter hanging on it, get them plugged into the motor, and then I'm calling it a day, because it's been a long 3 days working on this thing, but we got a lot done. All right, we are to this part. I'm gonna make that fit in there. So I think basically I'm gonna trim that out of there. We'll see if this will go in there. We're about to have fuel. Well, that didn't last long. Not so much.
A little bit more.
What I might do is cut it off and shorten it. I'll do something, won't it? And we just weld that thing right back on.
Beautiful.
Now we just gotta trim these off to wherever we can put screws in it. We're getting somewhere. All right, we are winning. Look at that. We've got real live fuel door. Let me see that thing for a second. We gotta adjust.
It's custom.
I love it.
Cap on it now. She's good. Ready for fuel.
It really is. We got some more fuel line to run up front, and then we will have won this battle. I like it. That turned out somewhat like I imagined. And it cost me nothing, just some time. Just 17 days of my life to get that fuel door done. All right, I've had all I'm gonna do tonight. I've had all I'm gonna get done on this thing this week. So we've got a lot done. She's way closer than it once was to running. Radiators in it, fuel systems in it. I mean, we're down to some wiring now and bleeding some brakes out. I think it runs and drives, so soon enough. Next time we start it. So thanks for watching.